Hey there everybody, xdonnyboyx here with another video today. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be going through my top 10 summer fragrances for 2016. This list is mainly going to consist of niche fragrances. It just so happens to be that I like things that happen to be a little more different, unique, not so much run-of-the-mill. Although there is one designer that's going to be in this top 10 list, and it is a great designer at that. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let's make this video a little quick one. Don't want to be too long and drag on with this. Getting in with the first fragrance, we have here Guerlain Homme. Now, this is the original bottle, or not the original design at least, but the original Guerlain Homme. There's also L'Eau Boisée, an intense version, I believe, as well. This is just the original. The vintage bottle has like a mirrored finish on the front and back. Sides are see-through. With this one, it's classified as a woody aromatic, and it features lime, mint, bergamot, cedar, vetiver, mojito, rum, and geranium. So guys, pretty much with this one, you're going to get a mojito in a bottle. That's what I get. Nice lime, kind of zesty rum, a little bit of a musky thing going on. It is semi-sweet, so there's kind of like a sugar note going on. But I'm telling you guys, this one is really awesome. It lasts a good 5 to 6 hours on me. It's an eau de toilette strength. Very awesome fragrance. Number 10, Guerlain Homme. All right, moving on to number 9. We've got another fragrance that is also very, very, very nice in performing. This one is Bois 1920, and the fragrance name is, as you can see there, maybe get it to focus. It's called Agrumi Amari di Sicilia. And this is an eau de toilette strength. It's another Italian house. Like the Xerjoffs that we're used to and things like that. But this fragrance here, you're going to get a blast of grapefruit orange, lemon, mandarin orange, petitgrain, and caraway in the top. Middle notes consist of jasmine, patchouli, lime, lavender, blackcurrant, and sandalwood with a musk base note. This one is really, really hard to describe. To me, it smells like a lot of white florals. Fragrantica lists bergamot as well as petitgrain as being the two main accords that you smell. Lovely fragrance. I couldn't agree more. This thing is one of the hidden gems that I found when I first got into collecting fragrance and smelling fragrances seriously instead of just one here and there. But I do recommend checking this one out, guys. There's a lot of good stuff from this house. This one happens to be underrated in my opinion. These can be had anywhere between, I think, $100 to $150 a bottle. I could be mistaken. I know that they were retail priced for $195 at one point. But coming in at number 9, this is Bois 1920, the citrus aromatic by the Italian wonderful house. All right, coming in at number 8 spot, we have an Amouage, and that is Amouage CL Man. Okay, now with this one, as you can see, it's a vintage bottle. It's got the non-magnetic cap snap-on right there with the plastic in the Swarovski crystal there. Now with this fragrance, guys, you're going to get a blend, actually, of lavender, lily of the valley, bergamot, and rose in the top, nutmeg, cinnamon, peach, jasmine, and cardamom in the middle notes, and then sandalwood, patchouli, vetiver, incense, and cedar in the base. The top accords that are noticeable in this one, I guess they say lavender, peach, nutmeg, and lily of the valley. To me, I smell more of the white florals. I get more of the lily of the valley, bergamot, rose, as well as the jasmine for sure. And definitely turns into an incense vetiver in the base when it dries down. Lovely fragrance. 6 to 8 hours. Vintage juice. This is a tester bottle as well. These are getting harder to come by, especially with the non-magnetic cap. But do yourself a favor if you want something different, if you like the House of Amouage and you like the incense thing that they do, but you want one for the summertime, definitely check this one out. It does not disappoint. It is modern, yet has a nice take on like a masculine of yesteryear, if you will. It's dandy, but it's not too dandy, kind of like some Guerlain fragrances can be. This one's definitely wearable, so go ahead and check it out. ALC Man, coming in at the number 8 spot. Now, coming in at the number 7 spot is going to be a fragrance by the infamous house, Rosado. This is Rochas Parfums Bergamot Extrait. This is now discontinued, and I'm very, very sad to say so, as this happens to be one of my very favorite bergamot fragrances ever created. It's probably one of the best vetiver accords that I've smelled thus far in the game. It's just a beauty. It's a true, true gem. When I first smelled it, it was love at first sniff. With this one in the top notes, you're going to get bergamot, lavender, lemon, orange, and rosemary. In the middle notes, you've got jasmine, rose. And then base, you've got coriander, ginger, musk, oak moss, patchouli, and vetiver. So another true gentleman's fragrance. This one is unisex, of course, as all fragrances are. We know that. You can wear whatever you'd like, whenever you'd like. With this one, of course, main accord, you're going to get bergamot right off the top and jasmine. I happen to love white florals, guys, and the next thing that you're going to get is a nice little effervescent, bubbly vetiver and oak moss duo. And that pretty much summarizes this fragrance in a nutshell. And it lasts probably about 6 hours, maybe 5 to 6 hours if I'm lucky. I just wish it lasted a little bit longer given it's an extrait, but what can you do? It is a fragrance that is heavy on the citrus, and you know, citruses do not last long on most people's skin, and they are pretty fleeting overall. But nonetheless, Rosado Bergamot Extrait, definitely a winner in my game, coming in at the number 7 spot. All right, now coming in at the number 6 spot is a fragrance by the house of Atelier Cologne, and this is called Truffle Pure. And Truffle Pure is French for pure clover, and with this one, name is perfectly suited for the fragrance. You're gonna get tons and tons of clover, lots of green going on here, lots of dewy green, kind of grassy green, not the typical kind of grass like vetiver grass. Think of like wet clovers, as the name would imply. That, along with that dewdrop kind of accord and the famous Atelier Cologne signature citrus top. Now with this one, on Fragrantica, they list bitter orange, cardamom, sweet basil, clove, violet leaves, moss, patchouli, and musk in the top. Or not in the top, excuse me, just in the fragrance overall, total. Now with the composition, the most notable accords tend to be bitter orange, followed by clover and basil, and a little bit of the violet leaf, and I think that's spot on. The citrus is definitely there with the bitter orange. Clover is right up front, and the basil definitely helps give it that herbal quality to it as well. So this is Atelier Cologne Truffle Pure. You're going to get 5 to 6 hours again on this one, but the price is about 1/3 that of that guy right there if you can find it. So about 125 bucks for a bottle of this, 100 milliliter. Very nice fragrance. Go ahead and check this out. Atelier Cologne Truffle Pure, coming in at the number 6 spot. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get with that top 5 now. Coming in at the number 5 spot is going to be a fragrance by Creed. Yes, Creed. Of course, you couldn't do a video like this in the summertime without a few Creeds, if not at least one. And this happens to be Creed Imperial Millesime, also known as Millesime Imperial. And as you can see in front of you, this is a vintage all gold flake bottle. The flake is coming off at the bottom a little bit there. But with this fragrance, guys, you're going to get notes in the top consisting of fruit and sea salt. Middle notes, lemon, bergamot, iris, and mandarin orange. Base consists of musk, woody, and marine notes. Now this one, guys, to me, when I first smelled it, I gotta be honest, I did not like this one. This one, to me, when I first smelled it, literally gave me the vibe of like soy sauce. I smelled like I was smelling a soy sauce packet. Like someone just dumped some soy sauce and I was smelling it on a paper strip. But after I gave it some time, I wore it, a few times, around the house and then out and about in the summer heat. This one just grew on me. Um, I never got the watermelon cologne type thing. I could see where people are coming from, but I don't know. It's not, in my opinion, it's not watermelon. Um, if anything, it was that super salty kind of soy sauce thing. That's what I got mostly, and consists of this one. Um, but yeah, I guess pretty much what it comes down to is ambergris, some salt, and some fruity accords. That's what you're gonna get with this lovely fragrance. This one disappears probably somewhere in the middle of like 4 to 5 hours. But for the time that it's there, really awesome. This juice happens to last maybe 6 hours, so it's a little bit longer longevity on these original Imperial Millesime bottles than the current bottles that are out right now. They're a little bit weaker juice that are out now, but the smell is basically 95% the same. Um, these, I think, tend to be a little saltier, whereas the newer batch tends to be a little bit more of that cologne watermelon thing. So Creed Millesime Imperial coming in at the number 5 spot. All right, guys. Now, coming in at the number 4 spot is going to be the only designer that we have in this house, or in this video, excuse me. It's been a long, long day, guys. Pretty tired from work. Been some late, late nights. Now, this one is no slouch. This is Aqua by Christian Dior. This one, pretty sure, is being discontinued. Haven't had that confirmed completely. I have not seen evidence thus far of my own. But this is a tester bottle that I got from work, as we no longer carry this in store at Sephora. So I was lucky enough to go ahead and snag one of these testers that was unused. It was pretty full. It was probably maybe never sprayed, but maybe 2 or 3 times. This one, guys, to me, one of the best designer fragrances, period, of all time. With this one, you're going to get notes consisting of tangerine, grapefruit in the top, violet in the heart, basil and mint, including in there, vetiver, leather in the base. Francois Damashi is the one that created this one. And if you guys are familiar with the Creed fragrance by the name of Creed Green Valley, or you've never smelled Creed Green Valley and you do wish to do so, get your nose on this. Aqua Fahrenheit, I'm telling you, it smells 90% the same. I know this because I had a decant of the Creed Green Valley, and I was going to buy myself a bottle until one day at work I came across this and had the realization, the epiphany, that this bottle costs easily a third or the fourth of the price of the Creed and is a lot easier to find, except for the fact that now it's being discontinued, I think. But Aqua Fahrenheit has the same aromatic chords going on. So definitely check this one out, guys. It's no slouch. It is the only designer in this top list, coming in at the number 4 spot. Okay, now moving right along, we're going to go in the number top 3. Now with the number 3 spot, we've got a Xerjoff. And this is Xerjoff 1861. Now, this is the original 1861. It's now known as Renaissance, 1861 Renaissance. There's also 2 others in the line now of the 1861 family. There is 1861 Naxos and 1861 Zafiro. This one's now renamed and branded with Renaissance. That goes right here under the 1861. This fragrance, guys, let me tell you, full of white florals and some of the best citrus notes you will ever smell, period, hands down. Another Italian house that's really, really, really amazing with the white florals, just like the Bois 1920 house. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe, yeah, that's an Italian house. Yes, with this one, guys, you're going to get musk, some jasmine, lily of the valley. Lily of the valley is really, really heavy in this one, and I love it. Love the white florals and the citrus in this one. This is a unisex fragrance. You're going to get the bergamot. You're going to get, the Amalfi lemon. You're going to get mint. It's another mojito. It's going to be like taking this bad boy, Guerlain Homme. Here's your niche version. Here's your designer version, if you will. I know this is no designer fragrance. I'm not calling Guerlain designer. This is niche in my opinion. This one's around 30 to 40 bucks. This one's around 200, 230 bucks. Basically the same things going on here. Longer lasting, more rich. This one's a lot more mass appeal, pleasing, sweeter fragrance. Both mojito fragrances, very, very lovely. Like I said, difference with the 1861. This one's going to have that extra kick. It's going to have petitgrain in there, some amber, and I think there's even like cedar, rose, patchouli, little musk in the base. I don't get any of that, to be honest. I mostly get that kind of white floral thing, the basil, mint, you know, bergamot, citrus top notes with the petitgrain. That's what I get with 1861. Very lovely fragrance. I just wish it lasted longer. It only lasts about maybe 6 hours for an EDP, which I guess is not bad. But I mean, I don't know. For the price, I guess I want more out of it, and especially from a house as prestigious as Xerjoff, I want more. But nonetheless, this one does beat out Xerjoff Neo. So definitely take a look at this one, guys. It's definitely a unisex fragrance. Do not pass this one up. Take a look at 1861 by Xerjoff. All right, so the top two now. Coming in at the number 2 spot is another Rosado. Look at that. Rochas Parfums Scandal Pour Homme. This is the EDP 100 milliliter bottle. This fragrance, guys, you're going to get a classic gentleman's fragrance, okay? It's modern, it's slightly dandy, it's awesome. Kind of reminds you of a Guerlain fragrance. Kind of has the Old Spice vibe, you know, but it's modernized. It's wearable. Eau de perfume strength. Top notes in this one are consisting of bergamot, lemon, basil, petitgrain, lavender, mint, tarragon. Middle notes are jasmine, violet, lily of the valley, and May rose. Base consists of cardamom, cashmere wood, cedar, cloves, oak moss, nutmeg, patchouli, rhubarb, sandalwood, vetiver, ambergris, labdanum, musk, and tonka bean. Wow, never thought I was going to get by that. But as you can tell, this bad boy is loaded up with a lot of different things going on in it. And to be honest, what it comes down to is just a really, really awesome aromatic fougere. Probably one of the best fragrances I've ever smelled so far. It really is truly amazing. The aromatic qualities, the greenness, that 90s, 80s masculine feel. It's got, you know, that lavender thing. It's got the oak moss. It's got the citrus. It's got everything you could want from a fougere. It's got the tonka bean. It's awesome. Perfectly well blended. Can't pick out any one note specifically. With this one, lasts about 5 to 6 hours on me. And I mean, you know, that the projection's probably half that, which is fine. This is a nice scent. I don't mind reapplying it. There's enough juice to go around. This one is, I think this size is discontinued now, so I think it only comes in like a 50 milliliter size EDP, and then 50 milliliter size X straight or Parfum Pour Homme. But nonetheless, guys, Rosado Scandal Pour Homme, be sure to check it out. It's one of my favorite fougeres of all time, coming in at the number 2 spot. Now, what you've all been waiting for, the number 1 fragrance of 2016, picked by yours truly, worn by yours truly. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to warn you guys, it's going to be a shocker, because this one can be hard to wear for some people, if not most. It's not one of the most mass appeal pleasing fragrances, and it is a vintage fragrance, and it is hard to find, and it has a certain Guerlain-ade, if you will. Now, with that one being said, yeah. Yeah, you see it. Yep. That would be Guerlain Derby, guys. Vintage Eagle Bottle. Vintage Eagle Bottle Derby. You can see the batch code on there. I don't know if you can tell. Vintage Eagle Bottle 100 milliliter spray. This fragrance was literally love at first sniff. I smelled the vintage first, got a sample of the current version that's released right now, that can be found in stores and boutiques as of 2012, I believe it was. But for some reason, this one is it. This one's it for me. The oak moss in this, guys, is the good stuff. The pre-IFRA, rules and regulations and bans and all that good stuff that we like to talk about. Nutmeg, oak moss, leather, sandalwood, artemisia. It's got rose, jasmine, bergamot, mint, patchouli, vetiver. Everything about this is masculine. I believe Luca Turin deems this the reference masculine fragrance in one of his books. That's what's up. This one, you just have to get your nose on it. And I will tell you, the current version is about 90% the same. The only difference is the current version is maybe not as potent. It's a little bit more wearable. But the scent overall is pretty much 99% the same, with the exception that the 2012 version that's currently available has like an additional, I think it's a carnation note, but it works just fine. It kind of gives it more of like a little barbershop feel to it. But I'm telling you guys, 1985, 80s men's fragrances were killing it. Now, this one is a pure Chypre at its finest and made by Jean-Paul Guerlain. With this one, last 8, 10, 12 hours, depending on the weather. Eau de toilette strength, guys. 2 sprays and you're done. You're done. People are going to smell you easily 15 feet away. This thing's not nuclear, but it definitely will get you noticed. And I love the fact that it's a spray bottle. It's my number one fragrance. It's what I would consider a signature fragrance for myself. If you held a gun to my head and said, hey, pick one fragrance for the rest of your life, this would be it, guys. Guerlain Derby. This would be my signature. I love this fragrance. And to just wrap this video up, thank you so much for watching, guys. Guerlain Derby is my number one top pick fragrance for summer of 2016.